Hello everyone, thank you for the opportunity to present today. My name is Winafa Maharani from PT Freeport Indonesia. Today I will be sharing my research for the Economic and Business Landscape Analysis course. The topic of this presentation is about the effect of fuel price increases on urban commuter preferences, with a specific focus on female commuters living on Jakarta's outskirts, namely Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. This research applies a microeconomics lens to understand how rising fuel prices influence daily transportation choices, especially among women who often face unique challenges related to mobility, safety, cost, and time. Through this analysis, we aim to explore not just behavioral shifts, but also the underlying structural limitation within our urban transport system, especially those that limit alternative for female commuters. Let's begin. First of all, we will discuss about the introduction. The introduction part consists of about background, problem of statements, research objective, research question, and the significance of the study. Let's talk about the background of this research. Rising fuel prices in Indonesia have significantly impacted urban mobility, especially for daily commuters. From a microeconomics perspective, these changes influence consumer behavior through cost-benefit recalculations involving demand elasticity, opportunity cost, and utility maximization. This research focuses on women in the Bodetabek region, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi, who often face a double burden of paid work and domestic responsibilities, making them more sensitive to commuting costs, time, and safety. Unlike Jakarta residents who benefit from shorter commutes and better public transport, Bodetabek commuters experience longer distance, fragmented transit system, and higher expenses. Many are pushed to the outskirts due to unaffordable housing in Jakarta, creating a spatial mismatch between residence and workplace. As fuel prices rise, women adapt by shifting to the cheaper transport, carpooling, changing work hours, or seeking remote work if possible. Their response reveal how economic constraints shape daily decisions, offering insight into real-world microeconomics behavior in urban commuting. Okay, about the problem statement of this research. Actually, already explained in the background of the research, but this problem of statement more explain about that most research on urban mobility focus broadly on infrastructure, traffic congestion, or general commuter trends without disaggregating data by gender or residential geography. The key issue of the problem of the statement is about the price sensitivity, mode substitution, and economic trade-off. Okay, then we move to research objective of this research. The first is to examine changes in mode preference among female commuters before and after fuel price hikes. And then the second is to assess the price elasticity of the transportation demand within this demographic group. And the last, to identify key factors influencing commuting decisions in the context of rising fuel prices. For the research question, actually related to the research objectives, and then the first, how have fuel price increases influenced the mode of the transportation chosen by female commuters in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi? And the second is, to what extent are female commuters in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi sensitive to change in transportation costs? And last, what factors most strongly influence transportation preferences among female suburban commuters? The significance of the study is whether behavior changes or remain the same, the response reflects real-world trade-offs shaped by economic constraints. This perspective also encourages researchers to better recognize the realities faced by suburban female commuters and to respond with more thoughtful, inclusive approaches. Then we move to the literature review part. The literature review is the part that I explain the journal or academics written that I use to analyze this research. Okay, for the literature review, I have cheated like 4 parts. The first one is about microeconomic frameworks, the second about urban mobility and gender, the third about market structure and urban transportation, and the last is about government intervention. The first one about the microeconomics frameworks, I cheated a lot about direct financial impact and elasticity, behavioral adaptation and modal shifts, the rebound effect and long-term adjustment, compounding non-monetary costs for women, and impact on economic opportunity. And then about the urban mobility and gender, I cheated about the complex priorities and trade-offs, transport as gatekeeper to opportunity, disproportionate impact on well-being, and behavioral adaptation strategies. And then if about market structure and urban transportation, I cheated a lot about mixed market structure and model locking and motorization trends, dependency on informal transport in Indonesia, and persistence of informal modes in Indonesia. And last, for the government intervention, I cheated about the welfare impacts and public transport dependency, subsidy failures and model shifts, and the last about the critical roles of user preferences. Okay, now we move to the research methodology part. Okay, about the research methodology, actually I don't know this research methodology is applicable or not to my research or my essay, but I tried my best to use this research methodology to analyze my essay. So this essay adopts a mixed method exploratory approach, combining a small-scale quantitative survey with a qualitative synthesis of a relevant academic literature. While the primary data is limited, the integration of empirical of theoretical insight aims to provide a multidimensional understanding of female commuter preferences amid rising fuel prices. Due to time constraint in preparing this essay, the research relied on a short online survey distributed via Google Form. The link already I put on the slide. Targeting female commuters aged 20 until 55 who regularly travel from Bodetabek, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi to Jakarta. Only 21 responses were collected using a non-probability purposive sampling method focusing on women with active commuting routines. Okay, now we move to the fourth part, that is about the analysis. Okay, for the first analysis, we will try to answer the first question of the research question, that is, how have fuel price increases influenced the mode of transportation chosen by female commuters in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. And here the result from the survey from Google Forms. The first one, we will try to explain about the 33.3% who changed their primary transport mode. The main shift were to more cost-effective option. like motorcycle, around 42.9%, and 28.6% move to the public transport. Actually, these results is aligned with the academic findings from other regions. For example, in Lahore, led female students to shift to the sustainable transport, and in Japan, they spur a move towards smaller and more fuel efficient. And also, increased carpooling is another key adaptation, a behavior well documented in Los Angeles. And then for the second is about the significant barriers preventing a widespread shift. Crucially, the survey also revealed that a majority of women, around 66.7%, did not change their primary mode of transport. This inertia is due to a lack of concern over costs, but rather the presence of significant barriers. The top reasons cited for not switching were concern for safety and comfort, around 35.7%, and a lack of alternative transport must be around 28.9%. This finding is powerfully supported by broader research on the Jakarta metropolitan area, which concludes that the historically poor quality and inadequacy of public transport has been primary driver of motorization and continues to be a major obstacle to a reverse modal shift. And this leads also to the model locking, where commuters are forced to absorb higher costs because the alternatives are not viable. Okay, I will try to answer the second research question. That is, to what extent are female commuters in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi sensitive to change in transportation costs? And this is also the snippet from the survey result. The first is about high financial sensitivity and burden. Around 42.9% moving into the higher 50 until 100,000 rupees bracket. This is aligns with academic studies showing that transport costs can be a major barrier to women's employment, consuming a significant portion of their salary. And then about the constraint elasticity. Research from Denmark identifies long-distance commuters as a potential highly elastic group, but clarifies that this elasticity is entirely dependent on the availability of high-quality public transport as a substitute. In the context Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, Bekasi, where such alternatives are lacking, these commuters are forced into a more inelastic position. They must bear the higher cost because the trade-off in safety and reliability are too great. This reinforces the academic finding that welfare's loss from rising fuel prices are greatest for those with poor public transport option. And then the next is about the sensitivity on non-monetary costs. The sensitivity extends beyond money to time and psychological stress. Due to the double burden of household and work responsibilities, women's times is less flexible, making them more sensitive to unreliable schedule and long travel time. Okay, we move the next question and the last question. This is about the what factors most strongly influence transportation preferences among female suburban commuters. And also I already put the result of the survey. For the first one is the travel time and cost. The survey confirms that travel time and cost are the top two factors influencing mode choice. This reflects the fundamental macroeconomic reality for long-distance commuters who must manage tight budgets and schedule. The desire for shorter travel times is primary concern as long as commuters are shown to negatively impact women's psychological health. And then the next is about the safety and comfort. While the rank slightly lower in the survey, the qualitative response and academic literature establish safety as a foundational requirement. And then for the next is about availability and quality of alternative. From the GMS history of inadequate public transport has fueled motorization and continues to prevent a significant shift back. This contrasts sharply with contexts where high-quality transit enables commuters to respond effectively to fuel price changes. And the next is about the flexibility and household responsibilities. Women's needs to perform multiple tasks a day. Trap chaining means they require a high degree of flexibility that scheduled public transports often fail to provide. The survey finding that schedule flexibility is about 21.4%. There was a key reason for not switching modes. And then the transport needs of women are often more complex than a simple home-to-work commute, but a factor that heavily influences their preference for adaptability of private vehicle. Okay, we move the last part of this presentation, that is the conclusion. Okay, for the conclusion, you can see on the slide, there is correlation between rising fuel prices and the trade-offs for commuter, especially women or female, between cost, safety, and time. Based on microeconomics analysis of female commuters on Jakarta outskirts, rising fuel prices highlight fundamental economic principles of consumer behavior under constraint. The commuters' response demonstrates key concept of microeconomics as they are forced to make a significant trade-off between cost, safety, and time. The central finding is that their demand for private vehicle travel is highly inelastic, where a significant increase in fuel doesn't lead to a proportional decrease in private vehicle use. According to economic theory, this inelasticity is primarily caused by a lack of viable substitutes. This is confirmed by the analysis, which is identified the absence of safe, reliable, and accessible public transport as a major barrier preventing commuters from switching modes. In summary, rising fuel prices deeply affect female commuters on Jakarta outskirts, yet limited transport options make their demand inelastic. This research highlights the urgent need for safer, more accessible, and affordable mobility solutions for women. Thank you for your attention. Bye.